She gonna be on Christian mingle.
Okay, wait. So hold on, guys.
Black people
right now. Right, don't even put. Why are you putting that on me? Like, why do you guys even want me to do that?
But the difference is you're still being more so selective versus that type of dude is typically taking whatever he can get and he's loving it. Yeah. If you gave him attention, like he really don't have a type. His type is attention. Like
his type is who like him.
Yeah, whoever like him, he take and he love. And you be like, you try to save him from himself. It's draining, and then you just gotta watch him drown.
Yep.
You gotta watch him drown.
Like I ain't finna play this game with you. I'm gonna be honest. I see why there would be shame, but as a practical matter, I wouldn't see no shame in it as it relates to me, because if I know what I want and these are the particular means that is going to get me what I want, then I'm gonna do that. Like I shame or not, I actually don't give a damn, because at the end of the day, the people that's gonna shame me, what they doing? Are they Are they putting something on it? Mm-hmm. Or are they putting? Are they finna put anything on the ad? Are they finna put something on the wedding? Like on the marriage? Like what are you doing? So your shame don't mean a damn thing to me. Yep. I don't care. And I will say this. I think that also comes with age. I think that I was blessed to have that early, only because
my daddy.
I'll wait for it.
I was like, what's she looking at me? She was looking for me to finish the sentence.
Where's the fucking button?
Only because, but the thing is that like it's only because I had that type of exposure, like growing up. And if I would say something, my dad would be like, "Who cares? They hated Jesus." Like literally, I heard this day in and day out. Like they talked about Jesus. Mm. They hated Jesus. You know, like I literally heard this day in, day out. So I was exposed to like.
Tell your daddy I'm stealing that from him. Oh. I'm dead gonna be telling him I can't.
He says it all the time. Like
this ain't the first time you said it.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. So like, I was lucky to have that exposure to not really caring what people thought about me or their opinions of me or whatever. I had that early on, but most people don't get that. And so I think that once you get to a particular age brings wisdom. Mm-hmm. And with that wisdom brings like just a sense of, I don't give a fuck.
A sense of fuck it.
Yeah, like this is what works for me. This is what works for my life. This is what works for my happiness and for what I desire in my life. You know, so I'm just not against somebody like giving a referral fee. Because real talk, my friends, guys, and like women and men, my guy friends, they'll be like, "Oh, you got any single homegirls?" My women friends, but you got some single homeboys. Like I hear it all the time, you know. And at one point, either like everybody was kind of married, but like people starting to get divorced. So I got like new, you know, unmarried friends now. But I mean, let's be honest. Like you would feel more comfortable probably hanging out, like you said, hanging out with somebody that was referred to you by somebody that you actually know, that knows you and that knows them. Mm-hmm. Because you're not finna hook up two people that you know just probably not gonna mesh. You know what I mean? I mean,
I would do that.
You would?
Hell yeah, just for the entertainment.
You'd be like, yeah.
I wouldn't.
First of all, that happened to me before, but I advised against it though.
Rome's like, I want peace in my life, but fuck yours.
No. I'm saying,
go ahead.
I wouldn't.
I just want peace.
But I say that, look, I want to just piggyback off of what Aaron was saying. And yeah, man, there's no shame in your game. So if you happen to be a gentleman that decides to go to Colombia or DR to get your wife,
do what you gotta
let her rock, bro. You know, I had Alan try to shame me back in my young days.
But Rico, you was doing something different.
I was about to say, we tying it back to this
somebody turn his microphone off.
No, what I'm saying is this.
But he really wanted that?
No, what I'm saying is this. There's no shame in a lot of dudes' games. And even here, I know this one guy who is a billionaire.
What's his name?
I can't do that.
He's single.
I can't do that. No. But you know what he told me? He said,
I actually don't know any billionaires.
I don't even care if she's a gold digger.
Oh, where's he from?
I don't care. I know she. Look,
$1,000 on you.
Where's he at? This is his mindset. I don't care if she's a gold digger. I know she's a gold digger. As long as she listens and she does what I want. He's a Saudi Arabian guy, so you already know how they get down. As long as she listens and does what I say.
And I can pee on her.
Then I'm cool.
Or is it doo-doo? One of them.
Whatever he decides, I don't fucking know.
But you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that there's no shame in their game either.
But is he looking for love or is he just looking for someone to be obedient?
He's looking for a partner. Or not a partner. He's looking for a companion.
Yeah.
And whatever that companion happens to have that complements what he is, and I mean, that worked for them.
And he don't care what she is, or as long as obviously, he has whatever his preferences are. But as long as he falls in alignment with that, then he's cool with it.
Yeah.
And
you know what, Rico? That's actually why I'm not against the American men who go, overseas to find a non-American woman. Because if you don't find what you want here, you should go where
you celebrate it.
I wouldn't say they celebrate it, but like you should go where like somebody's willing, they want to be with you for whatever the reason is. And it does. I want to say this is because I think that a lot of times people think that they're going over there to take advantage of. And yeah, they are. Not all, but we know that there are some women who are being taken advantage of. And then there are also people like, that's what they want. And if that's what they want, let them have it. Like, who gives a fuck? Because you don't want that person.
That part.
9 times out of 10, anybody that's going over outside of the United States to go get a wife, you don't want nobody like Aaron Campbell. You can't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even, you might want to, but like, I'm not even your cup of tea. You know what I mean? For a lot of reasons. I don't even want to say what the reasons are, but for a lot of reasons, I'm not going to be your cup of tea. And you're not going to be mine. So go where somebody wants you.
But do you think
I'm not against it.
So do you think that potentially it could be because, well, not you, not Aaron, but that person who does have shame actually wants that person?
Wait, say it again. Break it down.
The person that is shaming the person who's going overseas to find a spouse, they're actually shaming them because they want to do it. Them. Like, no, they want them. So let's say if, I want
Keisha. Josephine.
No, stop doing this.
It was almost Amanda.
Let's say I want Josephine. Right? I want Josephine. And Josephine is like, no, I'm going to Europe.
Okay.
And she goes to Italy. Right? She goes to get an Italian man. And I start shaming the Italian man.
Because you wanted her.
Josephine.
Oh.
But guess what? I didn't want to be what Josephine wanted. Right?
Josephine already knew you. You were never Josephine's option.
No, so, and I think that sometimes the person that is shaming those are because they want that person, but they don't want to be what that person is desiring. So then they just talk down on their relationship, or they're
haters.
Yeah, they're a hater.
That's a very reasonable.
Thank you, Aaron. I gotta thank you, Aaron.
Like but I mean, I don't want to just say they're a hater, but like but they're also choosing to not be with what the person wants them.
That's why I don't be getting it.
It's an option. It's an option for someone to do. I wouldn't take that option because I believe in what? I believe in the right timing for me. So even if things aren't working out for me as quickly as I would want them to, I know within the right time, I'm going to receive the relationship that I'm supposed to be in. So I'm not doing the most with like putting out an ad. Because to be honest, like if I went online and I saw that a woman had posted an ad for a husband or whatever, it just gives desperate to me. And that sounds bad, but that's just how I look at it. And if I was also to do that, I would also think that there would be a lot of men that would look at the ad and have the same thought. Like, wow, this woman put out an ad to find a husband. Like, that's pretty desperate. There are men that would like running at the chance to like, approach that woman and try to be the husband. But I'm sure that there's another percent of people that would be like, that is weird as hell. I'm just that percent of people.
I'll let one of y'all. I'll let one of y'all because I already know. I feel like I know what Rome is going to say.
Go ahead, Rome. Because
Rome is still here.
I feel that one, pride will leave you homeless. Pride will leave you lonely. I feel like there's a lot of women. I won't say just women. There are a lot of people that are worried about this whole shame thing, and it's just a figment of your imagination because fear is not real. All right, and you can't worry about what other people think because at the end of the day, again, Netflix only has so many shows. You can only eat so much ice cream by yourself. You could only worry about your other friend's relationship. You can only go to so many weddings by yourself. You could always only be a third wheel for so long. When is it time to invest in like what you want for yourself?
But I think that that's a problem if you are doing all of those things. Some people are happily single, waiting for their right relationship. Like, I'm not sitting at home crying, eating ice cream.
I didn't say anything about tears.
That I have to go to weddings alone. Like,
But you
I don't
understand.
know, but that's not what single looks like for everyone. So some people aren't as desperate to get out there and put out an ad for a husband.
But you calling it desperation, though. It may not be desperation. That may be your effort because, again, she was tired of the dating apps. So she's literally saying, okay, I've exhausted my options. I've seen what's in this app. I would like to put out an ad, and whoever's got the database, like a matchmaker or so, that matches my qualifications, and please get back to me. That way you save yourself a lot of time. And again, I know you're in your 20s.
Maybe, yeah, I was about to say, maybe that person doesn't have that much time. Maybe they are in, like, we have the age of this person, because maybe they are an older person, and that's why they have exhausted all other options. But yes, me as a 27-year-old woman, I'm not. That's not an option for me. I don't.
Can I interject if you don't mind?
Yeah.
I think that's what's missing. Rome is speaking from a place of like women who want marriage and are likely satisfied in all the other areas in their life, but and they are waiting, but that's what they're still seeking, you know, and
craving.
Yeah, and as opposed to just waiting, it's like, why would you not invest
and control your destiny? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's right. Invest in what it is you really want, because it's very tiring. Think about it. When you're older, I'll say past like 32, like to be out at the happy hour, to meet people, like it's expensive. And it's just a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you can just go home and go to sleep. So if you put the ad out, you can stay home in your bed and relax and then just wait for the flow of people to come in. You know, I mean, it's probably working smarter, you know, not harder.
Yep.
But I'm looking at that from someone not in my 20s. And I think that's what the
I'm not saying
that's where the disconnect is. Obviously,
my timeline has so many women saying, "I've done the right thing. I have a 6-figure job. I've got what's someone with an M? I got a master's degree
with an M.
And
I got one of them.
Learning moment.
But they say this and they say, I just want someone to share my life with. They're not even saying I want a husband anymore. They've even changed their language. I just want somebody to share.
At this point, it's better to just share your life. Don't get married.
They're not even looking for a husband. Just saying like
keep your assets to yourself.
I think that
but you 20.
I believe
live on that hope, girl.
I believe this, right?
But it's just sorry. Let me get this out before he gets away with that comment and that slick grin that he just did, because you're saying that to me as if waiting on hope is wrong. Like, no, I am young enough to feel like what's for me will eventually come for me. I am not interested in putting out an ad at this time of my life.
You don't need to. You're in your 20s. You're bad. Look at your body. You look at your face. You got everything going for you.
Where's his camera?
She's beautiful.
But you want to be married and with a kid.
No. Ass my ass.
Wait, but listen. Amanda, you actually, most women your age don't want to be married at this age. That's the thing. You at this age, you actually want to be married and with a kid. Most women don't.
I would like to be married. Not
with a kid.
I would like
don't
a kid.
Don't set up here and lie now. You done told us this.
Okay, what I said was I want to be kid. That's what I said.
Oh, you don't want to be married? You just want a kid?
No, I do want to be married.
I know donors.
No, but to be honest, I've never really been one to be like, I gotta get married first and then I have to have a baby. And like,
oh,
okay, honestly, we on something else.
If I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant.
Let me.
Oh shit.
What and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of gathered this. You said something that really triggered a thought, and I realized that you can't be happily single and happily married, or you can't be happily single and expect for that to transition to happily married. Because when you're happily single, you're selfish. You're only caring about you. You only think about what your desires are. You don't have to consider nothing outside of you. So when you're happily single, you can't even seek marriage.
It's hard.
You can't even see if somebody is fit to be your actual spouse. So the problem is, when you get to that point in your life, it could be 27, it could be 40, it could be 50. When you get to that point in your life, it's like, well, guess what? I am no longer happily single. Mm-hmm. Now I want and desire and need a marriage to feel fulfilled in my life. So it could be a time thing, but I just think it's a maturity thing.
But I think that that's different for people who want to date intentionally, because you can meet someone and you can like them, and then suddenly your whole perspective changed. Yeah, you were happily single and you were selfish and you didn't have to think about anybody, but you like this person and you're starting to love this person so much that you're changing your ideas. And yeah, you want to do this for this person and you're changing your ideas for this person. So it's a little different because your mindset does change when you start to love someone. And that's that genuine kind of like love transaction that'll get you from being happily single to being happily in a relationship.
But you know what happens and why most relationships fail? Because then you get to that point where there's obstacles. You get to that point where having a relationship is tough, it's hard, and it's work. And the first thing you think about is, I was happily single. I don't need to deal with this. I don't have to settle for this. And now that relationship and the work for that relationship now becomes beneath you because you trigger and think back to when you were happily alone. So you're never going to put your best foot forward in the roughest times. For people that think that a relationship, especially a marriage, is going to be peaches and cream, sunshines and rainbows, and no adversity.
That's a different conversation because when you're in a relationship, period, you always have
peanut gallery.
You do have to decide what's worth it and what's not, because not everyone is going to revert back to the idea of, oh yeah, I was happily single, so I can go right back to doing what I was doing before. Not everyone's going to say that. Is this person and the trials and tribulations and the obstacles worth what we have? Some people will agree that it is and keep forward. And some people would just be like, okay, fuck it. I'm not a relationship person. So I'm just going to go back to being happily single.
I heard somebody say, right? This is real. I heard somebody say, because they were dating somebody.
Who's this somebody?
I was about to say, are you talking about
it's real?
No.
Like, who are you talking about?
It's real, but we don't know who the person is.
I ain't going to put their name out there, but they were dating somebody for 1 year and they were going through it for like the last, let's say, 2 months, right? Prior to. They said, I don't need to deal with this shit. Right? This is real, right? Reality for most people. You get to that 1 year mark, and you start having issues. You start thinking, if I'm having issues at 9 months or 10 months, I'm going to have issues for the rest of my life. That's not necessarily true.
Right.
And the problem is, you go like a relationship, that relationship within 1 year period is still fresh enough where you can remember all the fun you had when you were single. All the trips you took without any issues, all the times you had girls trips and there was nobody saying, nah, I don't want you to go. I don't feel comfortable with you going X, Y, and Z. You can think back so you can think back so close.
Yeah.
It's damn near like
recent.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Like so the problem is like when you are and I think happily single is really what I'm focused on, is because I'm not saying people who are single and actively looking for a relationship or just chilling, but you're embracing being single. You have pride being single. It's hard for you to turn that switch off because literally you go from being a flying eagle and then your wings get clipped a little bit and now you're just walking around like a chicken. Right?
And now we ate you.
Yeah.
You at the Popeyes.
And you mad at the person that clipped your wing.
I'm be honest. Go ahead.
Happily single comes off as I'm super independent, and this is like my way of saying, oh, it's just me. It's just about me. It's just about me. And if that's what you want, then a relationship may not even be for you.
At that point, yeah. I think once you get to that point,
I said you make the decision to decide whether the relationship is worth it, and you continue to fight for and move on.
No,
with the
but he's
relationship.
saying,
or you're just relationships aren't for me.
but that's not what he's saying.
I know,
He's
but
saying you
that's
don't
what
even
I
enter the relationship. In line with Alan was saying, as far as being obedient and respecting and honoring these particular obligations, is because the people in that relationship, they have had a conversation about what the expectations are and what the understanding is. So they have to be obedient to those rules. That's what I'm saying. I don't want it to be.
No, it's not a habitual thing.
Wait,
in terms of
who's a habitch?
like
You remember that
it's not-
episode of
it's
Jamie
not like-
Foxx? Okay,
it's-
nobody.
Who's a bitch? It's not like your habits.
I knew that was Jamie Foxx.
It is.
It's not like the habit. So let's just say if Alan comes home at 9:30 or 10 o'clock every Friday, but then the actual rule is don't come past 3 a.m. And then one weekend he stays to 2:30. He's not breaking the rules, but he did break his habit. I think those are two different things because he's setting the expectation that I'm going to be home typically around 9:30, 10. But now you're questioning me, but I'm still following the rules. The only thing I didn't do was the same thing that I typically would do. Now, I honestly had a situation where I was with the girl and I was like, we're not working out because there's no structure in our relationship, right? I was like, I need this. We can't do this. We can't do that. And she told me, she's like, I feel like I'm in school with you. And I was like, well, this is the only way that I operate. I can't operate under this other shit that you want to do, this living freely, really. Yeah, I need
Drill
structure.
Sergeant Rico.
But I need structure in my relationship. I need structure in my life. I need structure in my house. Everything has to be accounted for.
Yep.
Right? And that's just how I work. So when we just live in, with too much spontaneity. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, what is it? Hold on. Clown him if you want. You got 5 seconds. Clown him if you want to.
No, he wasn't going to get it.
What was it?
Spontaneity.
Okay.
Okay.
No support.
I was so unsure
Team
about
dark
that.
skin.
But when I have too much of that, it doesn't. I don't like it. I don't work well with it because then it gets in the way of different things. There's no real, there's no real rules and regulations. And I feel like and I don't like the tit for tat shit. So if I do something and now you do it, right? But I didn't know it was a rule.
You shouldn't have tatted. I mean, you should have titted it.
No, but because I didn't know it was a rule.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's something that was going to make you upset. You get me? But if you said, yo, Rico, don't come home at 4 a.m. and I come home at 4:15, I know I did it.
You better expect that tat.
No, I still don't want the tat. But but I'm like, I know I'm wrong though. But if we never spoke about it and I did it, and now you're on my line bugging or you're in my face bugging, I'm like, but we never had an agreement.
It's really just like rules of engagement.
Yep.
In any relationship that you have, whether it's business, whether it's educational when you're in school and how you interact with your professors or whatever, with your spouse, even with your siblings. Like, I have boundaries in things that I allow and what I don't allow with my siblings, because you don't get to talk to me like you talk to your wife, or how you talk to your mama, or how you talk to your kids. Period. You just don't. because that's just not how my life is set up. And if we can't agree on that, and that's fine, then we can't talk, I guess. You know, and I think that even though it sounds harsh, I think that that's the healthiest way for people to what's the word? Move in life.
Yeah.
I guess when you have the boundaries and you have rules and you have things that kind of keep shit
Things
in
in
place.
balance.
Yeah, it keeps
Yeah.
things in balance. Because it's like if I already told you, or no, not if I told you, if we have agreed,
Yeah.
both of us have agreed that X equals Z, then X needs to equal Z until we agree otherwise.
Yeah.
You understand? And the rules of engagement are, and y'all, anybody can comment or whatever on this, but I think when we think about rules of engagement, we always think about business. But our marriages are business. The way we run our homes, they're businesses. You know what I mean? Even as friendships, we have rules of engagement with our friendships, with our parents.
For everything.
Like you know what your mama can't come to you about, because you know what her shortcomings are. You know what your daddy can't come to you about, because you know the kind of shit that he was on. You know what I mean? So it's like those are all rules of engagement. Even though there may be like, you know, different nomenclature and like terms or phrases or whatever, we all sort of look at these as all being rules of engagement, and all relationships in our lives require rules of engagement.
I said this too because the
gotta ask.
most peaceful relationship that I've ever had
Rules.
I had rules by day 30. I was like, yo, listen,
Rico scares me, y'all.
this is how it has to be. And it was agreed upon from the
okay
rip.
with it.
And that's why I never had an issue with her.
You moving like a tyrant to me.
We only had one or two real fights, right? Now, then I've had other relationships which were good relationships, but there was no rules that were set up from the get-go. You know what happened? We got too caught up enjoying each other's moments and enjoying each other's company, where we didn't even think about it. We just ended up in a relationship because we had so much fun together and we felt like we vibed and we clicked. But guess what? There was no structure.
Yeah.
There was no grounding. There was no foundation. So then when shit started going out of whack, we're like, well, hold on, time out. You can't do that. Well, then you can't do this. And then it became a petty battle, right? Rather than a clear understanding from the very beginning. And that's why I don't believe in, like, remember we had a clip back in the day talking about intentional dating. Intentional dating requires setting the rules going forward within this relationship. But the problem is majority of people, or a lot of people, don't even know who they are, what boundaries they really have. Some of their boundaries they've adopted from other podcasts or from other people.
Or other relationships.
Shit don't even work for them.
Or they're actually scared to have those conversations. Like the craziest thing to me, which I don't fucking understand, like, how are you scared to have conversations about things that directly affect your life? They directly affect your everyday, whatever the hell you doing.
I'm scared, I'm pussy.
But what are you scared of?
I think they're scared of losing people. I think the fear of losing somebody, and they don't.
Yeah.
I say this, it might sound bad, but I think confident men don't fear losing women, which is why they get more. And insecure men fear losing women, so they abide by their rules and never actually implement their personal rules because they don't feel they can get another one. Of that quality or of that, level.
Well,
And I feel
if
it's the
she's
same
smart,
way. I feel
she
it's
better establish her rules.
No, I'm not mad at her. I'm saying him in this scenario. Because if he was
I'm
confident,
about to make a list of rules tonight.
then he'll establish his. Yeah,
You should already have them.
You should already know. Yeah, you want to deal with me. This
Especially at this age, this one you can have all
No,
the fucking
this-
rules.
I just start
This
putting your big girl
time-
panties on real
No,
soon.
this time of me right now, I'm in an era of not dating. So when I do start dating again, I'm about to
She's happily single.
I'm about to yes, I am happily single right now. I'm about to have a list and be like,
Here's my
this-
portfolio.
right.
Here's my pitch deck.
This is the rules you have to follow, sir.
Yeah, but in this time of happily single, you also have to do the inner work, though, because I think a lot of people forget that part, and they
I
just
didn't
think
forget that part. That's what I've been doing.
I'm by myself and I love it. Okay.
Like you have to know the pathology around why these are your rules.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't just be like, oh, I don't like nobody that don't shine the tip of their shoes. Like what's
It's something ridiculous.
Yeah. And I don't want to say yes, ridiculous,
Yeah,
but like
when they come out of that, I'm so super independent, happily single. A lot of times, y'all come out of that with the most ridiculous, asinine rules, and then you meet a dude that you actually like, and you're like, well, why he didn't stick around? And it's because your rules are just asinine.
Making the correlation of like being super independent and happily single like align, and that's just not what it always is. Someone can
doesn't
be
always have to be always. Just sometimes.
I know, but
Doesn't
that's
always have to be always.
But twice now you've said
you did.
being happily single is the same as I'm independent and I don't need anybody. That's just not true.
I apologize.
But wait. No. I have a really quick question. Like, because we always like make it a negative thing when women are independent. Do we not want independent?
It's the hyper independence that they have a problem with, and it is. Is that not what you mean when you say very independent? Well, I'm asking you a question.
I said super, but I meant to say hyper.
No, hyper independence is more than independence. Okay.
Yeah, can we define that? Yes, please. Let's define it.
We like independence, right? But you don't need to be hyper. You don't need to be too much.
And what does hyper look like?
I mean, for everybody, it's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
What is it?
I can't say for everybody, but for me, what hyper looks like is, you know how like when you when you go and you fill out a job application, they say like, do you work well with others? Right? They check no. Right? That's what hyper independent is. Like, I
agree.
They can't take direction. They can't take feedback. They can't take criticism. And they can't see anything outside of the ways that they've already cemented in their brain. That's hyper independency, right?
Yes, and that means that you aren't allowing someone to come into your life to be an addition, not to take over your life and control it, to be an addition, to be a plus, because you can do it all by yourself. And I don't need, and I got this. Okay, so what am I here for?
No, I get it, and I understand.
Nigga, to shiver me timbers.
Wait,
that's what
I
you're here for.
understand the negativity that surrounds hyper independence. Like, I get it, but I'm just saying that hyper independence doesn't always align with happily single, which is what I know where your mind was at. You said independence, but I know you were talking about hyper independence.
I said super, but you are correct.
Right, but that's what you meant, hyper. So
Okay.
you said it.
Yes.
I'm agreeing with you.
We're moving on from that. We've already established it. I think it's very important, and this is a learning moment.
Yeah, let us know, please.
It's very important to understand the words that we use when we communicate with others and the public.
Thank you.
Right? So if we use the word whore, by definition, it means
Hate it.
to a horse, right? By definition, it means a prostitute.
For him.
Well, I'm just saying.
So he's paying.
Those are in abundance.
Right, that's your husband.
I can name a lot of places.
Paying for some shit.
Okay, well, anyways, do we have somebody who was educated at a reputable school, credible school, and he was a therapist, and his motive was to understand the psychology of women so he can get women and date them, which is insane, right? To me, that you go to school to learn the mind just so you can manipulate it in your favor in your dating field, and that's what we're. That's
you asked me. That's kind of smart.
I was about to say, is it
$1,000 for? That's $1,000 for a husband.
Is it manipulation
or differently? That's all.
I ain't gonna lie.
Is it manipulation?
If that was my end
You're becoming
game,
educated to get what you want.
But no, but your actual career is it's influenced by obtaining women.
Isn't that
like
my job is about obtaining monies?
He can
that's okay.
profit off of it based
dollars
with that
his college education.
What do you mean? What?
I said he can profit off of it.
You can profit doing a lot of things that don't even require education. But his motivation for his career had nothing to do with the actual career and had everything to do with his dating life.
But guys,
Exactly.
let's be real. Like, everybody's motivation when it comes to their careers is very different. Like, I have friends and family members who are in medicine because they want to help people. And I got friends in family medicine who in it because it provides an extravagant life, and they can deal with what comes with it. So I'm not necessarily, I get what you're saying, but I'm not necessarily against whatever his motivations are. Like, real talk, if I go set up a lawn company tomorrow and it can make as much as I make right now, baby, I'm cutting grass. Like, because my motivation is the money. My motivation is nothing else.
So there's people, so look, that's why we got to be careful with what we say. There are people who are real life pedos whose motivation is to become a teacher to be around kids. Your motivation
doesn't take away from what their motivation is.
It doesn't make what I'm saying.
Doesn't make it right.
That's what I'm saying. Your motivation is not right. And the thing is like, if I was to
margarita.
Say, look, I love vaginas so much that I want to become a gyno. Right? Ooh. Just so I can touch women. Okay. Touch women's vaginas. I am sick. That's not good motivation. And so for me, I align a little bit less severe, but that motivation to become a therapist just so you can excel at dating because you had no success and then try to use that as a career path, to me, that's sick. But your motivations are not always good.
I think we're confused. Are we crossing the lines with like motivation and intent? I think
that's what I'm trying to say.
That's what he's trying to get
your
at. Your
intention with your motivation is not pure in sense of good. It's morally wrong.
It doesn't matter. I don't think what Alan is saying is that it has to be good or bad. It is what it is. Your motivation is to touch coochies all day. So you want to go through 20 years of school. I don't know who the fuck want to do that. You want to go through 20 years of school to touch coochies all day. Literally.
But
no. 20. No, I okay, let me make it a little more plain. 20 years of school, stress, being broke, because med students are broke than a bitch. Like, broker than law students, then accounting students. Like, med students are broke and worked to the fucking bone. All right. So to go through all of that just to touch coochies all day?
You could have just got a therapist.
That's thank you. So my thing is this: a lot of people's motivation
money and get a prostitute.
Thank you to touch a coochie for $20.
Nah, but the thing is,
like,
but the thing is, a lot of people's motivation really shows
it's fucked up.
That they need help.
Agreed.
And that's what I'm trying to say. They need inner work. And when you need inner work, yeah, you could be successful at acquiring whatever your goal is, but it doesn't fix the problem. If anything, it amplifies it.
Yeah, true.
And now what happens is it starts at A and goes to fucking Z.
But the thing is that, like, Rico, what is the solution to that? Are we going to say, like, hey, Jimmy, because we don't know Jimmy just want to touch coochies.
Well, until Jimmy catch a case.
Right, but and that's
what we're gonna be like, damn, Jimmy came on our show one time.
Yeah. Yo, Jimmy said, and I knew he was.
And I sat right next to him.
That nigga was weird.
And Jimmy kept looking down. Like, what the fuck was Jimmy doing? You know? And that's my problem. The thing is, But at what point do you?
I'm about to go watch that episode.
When is that intercepted? Is what I'm saying. Like,
well, my thing is, it really starts with. I really feel as if a lot of times, depending on how sick it is, of course, people will tell you the truth when you ask the right questions.
Yes.
So when you have people that are successful, a lot of times when you get these interviews, they ask, "What motivated you? What inspired you? What was?" that turning point that made you decide to take this career path, whatever it may be, and they tell you that story. We don't ask it. We don't ask these questions to certain people because we just say, okay, you were able to acquire this success. And I think when it comes to everyday people, or just even, it could be your career, it could be your relationship. What is motivating you to be this woman that you are today? What is motivating you to be this man that you are today?
I don't want to be a broke bitch.
And that's a lot. But at least we know.
I don't want my husband
But now look.
to lord over my life.
So look, but now look. But so then Aaron, but when that's
My liege.
But when that's
My liege.
But when that's said, guess what happens? As that man that marries that woman, when she said, I don't want to be a broke bitch, he knows I better not go fucking broke.
Yeah.
But now we have a 20-year relationship and he goes broke and now she leaves. But he never knew. See, the thing is this, when you have your own motivation, that is perfectly fine. But when your own motivation is not being upfront and somebody can no longer provide what you were motivated for, the problem is a unknown miscommunication.
So motive.
I never knew it.
Motive.
So my question is this. If your motive is pure and genuine, why would you hide it? Why would you hide your motive? There are women who are, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think that like maybe it's fair to understand that everybody doesn't have pure motivation.
Thank you.
And
what I've been
Pure
trying to
motives.
say this whole time.
Pure motives.
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
And I
Yes.
think and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And I think that if you want to know whether someone's motivation is pure or not, you just ask them. Understanding you correctly. So we understand that everyone has a motivation for whatever it is that they do.
Yes.
Right. Whereas you want to ascertain whether a person's motivation is pure or not, right?
It's impossible.
No, really what I'm saying is that you have to be careful with motivation. The reality is it will always exist, right? And I'm not saying, hey, everybody, you need to tell your motivations up front. That's not what I'm saying. Obviously, you can ask, but sometimes people will still lie, right? So then you have to read between the lines. But I'm saying for the people that do have those motivations that are not pure, that are not genuine, people have to understand that people are not as good as you want them to be or as you believe they are. Right?
Okay.
People have to understand that, hey, this person is successful, but this person is a creep. That's why they're successful. Right? They're inspired by nasty behaviors or moralist things, right? Some women are inspired by money, motivated by money. So she's gonna date a guy.
I was gonna say a lot.
Well, most, but I don't want to talk for women, right? So I just
Say a lot.
That comment didn't need to be made.
Either
Let
way-
the man continue
either
with his
way-
point.
No, I think he's fair because I was gonna say a lot.
Even if we say a lot, a lot of women are motivated by money.
I'm motivated by money.
So they'll fucking suck for money, right?
Oh, wait, that's not what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
But I got my own money, so
Yeah. So they could be motivated doing different things for money.
Yeah.
But some women, that's why we got the term gold digger, right? So now what I'm saying is gold digger tells you what type of motives or motivation this person has. So you need to understand that. You have to understand that people have terrible motivations and can be successful based off of terrible motivations. I'm not lobbying we need to be upfront with them. I'm telling you that at the end of the day, it's sick.
Oh, so you're just saying that people be aware, like a fucking PSA.
Be aware.
Isn't that the whole dating field though?
I don't think it is, because what happens is once you get to a point where you want a relationship so bad, you're willing to believe
Overlook
things.
things.
Yeah, like you'll overlook it. You ignore red flags.
So dating.
Huh? What do you mean?
I feel like you're describing dating, and I feel like that's what the complaint is by most people, that this person said he was this person, or this person said she was this person. 2-3 months down the line, I figured this out. He was a liar. He didn't work. She didn't work. She was stripping. She was whatever the case may be. But it's sounding like
Jump, leap.
it's sounding like you're speaking about dating, and I don't think you'll ever know a person's pure motive for as long as you'll be with them. Because
You just have to have good
I
discernment.
don't
No,
think
like that's the real part right there.
Put him to the test.
there is no test for that. Hold
No,
on one second.
I think you're right.
I don't think there's no test to figure out a person's pure motive.
Yeah,
because
there
you
is.
don't know people until you tell them no, and you don't know you.
That's the test.
You don't deliver
But
when
wait,
they expect
there are
it.
people that will take your one no,
Yeah.
and keep playing the game. There are people that will take your 100th no, and in a marriage for 30 years and play the game. But that 101st no, they're out the door.
Well, I'm on Aaron.
They're playing
I'm
the
with
long
Aaron.
game, so you don't know their motive.
I'm with Aaron on this. If you're willing to go to school for 20 years, you deserve to win. If you willing to take that 30 years
to touch some coochies.
I'm not saying like you deserve to win if you can go through 100 no's. You deserve to win.